I think the whole idea of the Fashion Film Festival is that I don't want it just to be for fashion people. So I wanted to have a broader appeal. Anybody interested in creativity, basically, creative mapping. I thought about doing a fashion film festival for more than 10 years, but there wasn't enough material out there, so I couldn't actually put anything together. And then in 2006, Ili Kishimoto, the British-Japanese brand, asked me to make a road movie for the launch of their menswear collection. And I did. It was called Adventure of Pleasure, and it was done with the Gumball Rally. So the Gumball Rally is this car race, rich guys, fast cars, hot girls, fast cars. And you go 3,000 miles in 6 days. And I made an 18-minute film, and I sent it to one of my contributors for the blog, ASVOFF, in Los Angeles. And he said, oh, you want to screen it in LA? And I was like, yeah, why not? And then the next day, my contributor from Mexico City, Enrique Gonzalez, out of the blue, sent me a film, and a short film. And I looked at it and I really liked it, and I thought, I don't want to just show my film, let's do a festival. But to call it a festival in 2006 is a bit of an exaggeration. It was more like a curated program. In 2008, David Herman, my co-producer, who I've been working with for 5 years, he saw an article on me and You Wear It Well, and he contacted me to say, do you want to show it at Jeu de Paume? And so I said, of course. And we met with the director there, the director of the cinema, Danielle. And but at that time it was still called You Wear It Well, because I was in the process of separating from the person I co-curated with, because we did, in 2 years, 24 screenings, and he was responsible for 4. It wasn't quite balanced. Whatever he did was great, but he just didn't do much. So it became like kind of this weird battle, and I was like, look, you've got a copy of the films in LA, I have a copy of the films in Paris. This is my initiative here. I'm going to screen the films at Jeu de Paume, and then you do whatever you want. It turned into a really weird situation, like him contacting all the directors, saying I took his idea when it was my idea to start with, calling the director of the museum, the PR person. I found out from one of the directors, they sent me this letter they received from him, and I had to write to each director and just say there's a change in organization and I'll be working on this alone. If you have any problem with your film being screened to the jury, let me know, and everything else is the same. It's Jeu de Paume, it's 3 days, it's the last 3 days of Abaddon there. So anyway, that was the beginning of working with David Herman, who's been a great asset. He's good on strategies, you know. I'm somebody who's just really good on passion and an idea and kind of pioneering through things, but I don't really have a strategy. It's people that mean something to me, actually. Like this year, the big excitement, because I've been trying to do it for 4 years, was getting William Klein, because when I think of fashion films, I think of Who Are You, Polly McGoo as being the iconic first fashion film. So we've been trying to get William Klein for 4 years, and until he actually got in Centre Pompidou last night, I was quite stressed, because he can just be very ornery and say, no, I'm not coming. Because I wanted him first to announce the film before, and then come on for a Q&A after. And then he said to David, no, I'm not doing that, you know, all these things. And I'll come after. And I sent a beautiful Mexican girl, very seductive, to pick him up, take care of him. He got here. So another really iconic person involved in the festival for the last 2 editions in Paris and 1 in Barcelona is Rossi de Paume, because I absolutely love her. You know, I like strong women that are kind of pioneers in what they do, and they're just originals. So Orlan is someone whose work I've really admired and as a human being for a long time. And she's also someone that's had a huge influence on people like Lady Gaga, for instance. If you look at the Orlan and all of the body of her work, I mean, she's the original. And then Claude Montana today, you know, I was a designer myself for 13 years, and I didn't really look at other people's work much because I think you have to just have tunnel vision. But I, of course, knew who he was, and I really admired it. I asked 3 people to choose 5 films. For him, just 5 iconic fashion moments in film. And his favorite was Anti-Mame, which was made, I think, in 1958. Gotham Project, because he's one of the first people I ever met. And I asked him to pick out like the best fashion moments in music videos, 5 of them, and he has great ones. And then I asked Glenn Adamson from the Victoria and Albert Museum to pick out 5 best fashion moments in video art. So, and also I asked Now Fashion to pick out the best 5 fashion moments in ASVOFF 5. Dominique Isserman is another one that I asked on this edition because I love her work and I've known it for years. And she just did these films like 8 Moments, Leonard Cohen, absolutely beautifully filmed with an iPhone. And we projected it on the big screen and it looked perfect. Daphne Guinness, yes. Daphne Guinness was with us again last year, and it's really through the director Joseph Lally, who she produces his films and she stars in them, and they really collaborate. They're very tight. And I actually never met him. I only know his work. And he doesn't like to take airplanes. So like last year, and he's based in New York. So last year he said to me, could I have Daphne Guinness present my film because he doesn't want to get on a plane. And that's how I met Daphne. It's interesting, like the winner of the festival, Jessica, for the grand prize, is Jessica Mitroni, and she is from Colombia, but she lives in New York. And she had a film in my festival at Jeu de Paume 2008. It was a really very conceptual film with 2 feet in 1 shoe. She did a whole series of like a Mary Jane shoe, but there were 2 feet and only 1 shoe. And she submitted a film over the past couple of years and none got accepted. But when this one came in, Headpieces for Peace, I just loved it, but it was 6 minutes and a half. So I told her, you know, I really love your film. The way it is, I can put it in out of competition, but I really love it in competition. I had no idea it was going to win the grand prize. I just knew I really liked it because it works on so many levels. It works on, you know, religious, politics, just human nature, just, it's got a sense of humor. And I'm really happy that that's the film that gets shown in MK2 because we want to enlarge the audience to just people that like film, you know? You don't have to be a fashion person to come to ASVOFF. And I don't want people to think it's that niche. Of course there's a slant to it, you know, but it's anybody that wears clothes and watches films.